This episode of Storytellers is brought to you by Bonifonte Friction, high-quality bell housings.
Hi, I'm Rickie Smith. You're watching Storytellers at Competition Plus TV. We went rocking them. And back in, one of them, the old big Ford motor I had, that thing get hot, and you know it just get hot. It was bigger than their motor, so it generated more heat, it naturally quicker. So they knew it, they were smart enough to know, that Warren was and Lee Edwards and all them guys. But we were rocking them to national meet, and we rolled up first round. This was when John Causey was doing my engines. So this had to be early 80s. And rolled up our first round, and back in, they allowed the pros, you could have one push start on Sunday. You was allowed one push start if your car didn't crank. So I rolled up our first round, the car don't crank. And I'm running for the championship then, I'm second, third in the points, or leading the points maybe, but we was in the championship battle. Roll up there and the car don't crank. I hit it and it don't do nothing but click. Well, I jerked all the levers back and hollered at everybody. We didn't have radios in the car then. I'm hollering through the helmet. They hear me, and I'm trying to push the car. So they push it. It fires up. I go up and I win the round. Come back, check everything out. What it was just old solenoid out here on the firewall. We had an old Ford solenoid on the firewall. Well, that thing went bad, and they'd go bad back in a lot. Anyway, we replaced it and fixed it. And I had to run Warren next round. I don't know if it was second or third round, but it was the very next round I had to run Warren. And I told John, we were sitting on the staging lanes, I told Cosby, I said, let me tell you something. I said, I'll shut this thing off before I go in first against it. I am not going to burn the motor up. I'm not going to get a lot of heat in it, but I ain't going in first with him either. John Causey was the one pitching the more fit to me in the pits. He said, Rickie, he said, my God, he said, this thing, please, John had done said please to me, I think twice, if not three times. Please don't cut this car off, because he knew we had a car that could win the race. He said, please don't cut this car off. He said, it didn't crank the first round. I said, John, I ain't worried about it. If it don't crank, but I am not going in first, and I'm not going to burn my motor up there sitting on him. So we roll up there and do our normal deal. Everybody's taking their time. I roll up, and he rolls up, and I think I might have put the pre-stage on first. I'm not sure either way there, but as soon as he put his pre-stage on, we had the old panel box in there. I left everything on except the ignition. All the fuel, everything just sit there and run. Fuel pumps running, fans running, back in. I'm sitting in the car and I'm dead quiet. My motor ain't even running. Warren's sitting over there. He's idling. He knows not to wrap the motor much. He's sitting over idling. We sat there a pretty damn long time. Lee Edwards was, not Lee Edwards, but Lee Shepard was driving for Rear Morrison. They were there. Joe Lapone was there. I think maybe driving, I don't know if he's driving his car or what, but they were all there. And I just shut the car off. Well, to be fair here, the starter didn't know what I was going to do, but I went up and just kind of told the starter, I asked the starter, basically, I said, how long do I have, this is for really the 7-second rule had really come in. It wasn't on the tree, it was up to the starter whether he realized it or not, how long you took to get in. I said, how long have I got after a guy stages till I can go in? And he said, I don't really know. He said, we don't normally get something. I said, 4, 5 seconds, 6 seconds? He said, yeah, probably something like that, 4, 5 seconds. And I said, okay, just want to know, as long as I come in after he stages, as long as I'm in there within 4 or 5 seconds, I'm not going to get red light. He said, no, as long as you're reasonable. And I didn't tell him I was cutting the motor off and nothing like that. He didn't have a clue either to start it. But I done made up my mind what I was going to do, but I was trying to give a starter a heads up, not just to red light me because the motor was off. Give me my legal 4 or 5 seconds or whatever he wanted, 3 seconds. I didn't care. I just knew I had time to jump in. So we go up there and we're sitting there. Warren's sitting over there, and he's sitting over there, and he's sitting over there, and we probably had one a minute and a half burned down. And I heard him wrap his motor once. I said, okay, he's starting to get a little nervous now. He's done wrapped the motor one time. So he wraps it again a time or two. And I said, all right, well, you're getting close. So I sit there, and we sitting there, and I'm thinking, all this is going on, about a minute and a half. So as soon as I heard him come up against the clutch, because I knew Warren he wasn't one of them guys that was going to roll the car and stop. When he come against the clutch, he was going in. Well, as soon as I heard that motor come up and start to tug that clutch, I just reached up there and fired. I didn't even look at the tree no more. I knew he was going in. I just reached up there and fired mine up. The ignition switch was on and everything. I just hit the start. It fired right up, and I went dead in. I didn't even pay attention to all I just knew he was in my mind. I hit the start and went right in behind him. He didn't hardly get in. He wasn't in 2 seconds. I rolled in there and went in with him. And Warren outrun me, I think, damn near a tenth that day. It was 7-800s, and I beat him. David Rear, Joe Lapone, all them guys, they done everything they could do down there that day to get me thrown out of that race. And they said, look, the guy actually jumped in right behind him. He said it wasn't even like he held him out. He said, ain't nothing I can do about it. He raced him. But they tried every way in the world to get me thrown out, but I didn't. I went on that day and won the race.